to 24 Willie Mays Plaza, the home of the Giants and Oracle Park. We've got baseball on the show. It's the New York Mets taking on the San Francisco Giants. First pitch coming your way next. And starting this one, Robbie Ray. What do we need to know here? All right, first pitch coming up. Francisco Lindor up now for the Mets. Swing and a foul out of play.
Four-seam fastball. High outside.
0-1 down. Ground ball right side, and it goes just foul.
Four-seam fastball. High inside.
That one lifted to left. Ramos moving under this one. And there's one away. Let's take a peek at the Mets lineup here. And Singy against the southpaw on the mound. The skipper's loaded this lineup with righty bats.
Certainly following the conventional wisdom here, Boog. That extra split second can make a big difference for a hitter. So these righty batters will need to take advantage and make this tactical move pay off.
Low outside.
Juan Soto batting with one down, takes a strike.
Low outside.
Way out front for strike two.
Fastball. High outside.
Bounce to the left side. Chapman zips it to first. Two quick outs at the top of the first here tonight. Bo Bichette up to the dish.
Low inside.
Ball.
Four-seam fastball. Low outside.
High fly ball right field. And that's the third out. Now it's the Giants' turn. No score. You're watching Major League Baseball on the show. We go to the bottom of the first. And taking the ball for the Mets, David Peterson. What's the scouting report on him? Willie Adames stands in.
Number 2, Willie Adames.
Base hit center field. So a runner aboard to start the inning.
Waste no time there. You'll often hear the phrase short to it, long through it, and that's a great example of it right there. Got the barrel in the hitting zone early, squared it up with the well-timed swing, and came away with a beautiful line drive into center field.
Rafael Devers, the next to hit, takes ball one. Swing and a ball hammered left field. That's down. One hops off the wall. Headed for the plate. He will score, and they take the lead.
Mission accomplished there as he picks up the RBI to give him the lead. Really good swing right there. He got a pitch that he knew he could handle, allowed himself to stay back just a tad bit longer, and he hit the ball on the screws.
Here's Elliot Ramos. Pitch is in there. It's 0-1. Runner at second, nobody out. Bunting, but that's a foul ball. Fights it off. He'll see another. Got him looking. Now one away. Here's the Giants lineup. And the challenge for this lineup today, Singy, finding a way to have success against the sinker ball.
Yeah, it's a tough pitch to hit, Boog, and even harder to elevate. Got to set your sights a little bit higher when you're at the dish. They're struggling with it. I'd expect them to make some type of adjustment. It won't take long to see how well that sinker is working today.
Luis Ariz stands in.
He's a bad ball hitter, so even if you get him to chase pitches outside the zone, he still might beat you. Not an easy out by any means.
On the ground at first, Vientos takes it to the bag, steps on first, and it's out number 2. Here's Matt Chapman. Here's a high chopper. Tosses to first. That ends the inning, and they limit the damage. Giants get a run on the RBI double. It's now 1-0. Second inning set to go. And stepping in for New York, Jorge Polanco.
High inside.
Looks like he's just sizing him up there. Really good pitch to hit, but he took it all the way. Sometimes guys just want to set their timing later on in the game. That may be a pitch that he turns on.
Carl Dixon working the plate in this one.
You know, we often hear and talk about umpires being a pitcher's umpire, but Boog Dixon maybe a little bit more hitter friendly than most. He's kind of tight on the corners, so we'll see if that comes into play at all in this one.
Softly hit to third. Chapman over to first in time. Leadoff man retired here in the second. Here's Luis Robert, also known as La Pantera. And that one fouled off.
Slider. Low inside.
Got the bat going too soon. It's strike two.
Low inside.
In the air, right field. He's got it. 2 down. And now it's Mark Vientos.
Low middle.
That's to third. Throws to first in time. That ends the inning. And the Mets go down 1-2-3. Still behind by a count of 1-0. Ready to go for the last half of the inning. And digging in for San Francisco, Jung-Hoo Lee. Line drive, base hit, right center field. Man aboard on the leadoff single. And now Bader up to the plate. Bader patrolling center field. Made his big league debut when he was 23 years old. And he was a third-round pick back in 2015.
Outside, that's a ball.
Lee gets his lead at first. Nobody out. To the right side, Simeon. Lindor, that's one. Not in time at first. It's a fielder's choice. And up next for San Francisco, Patrick Bailey. That one missed. Lifted in the air, right field. Taylor moving under it. Out, number 2. And here's the first baseman, Casey Schmidt. That one is absolutely belted. And it one-hops the wall. Here comes Bader around third. He will score, and they lead by 2.
Well done. Drives in the run. Got a fastball, middle of the plate, jumped all over it. Absolutely smoked that ball.
So, runner at second, 2 down. Willie Adames, the next Giant to hit. 1 for 1. He led off the bottom of the first with a single. Runner at second, 2 down. Bottom half of inning number 2. Out towards right center field. Taylor on the move. Pulls it down and he makes the catch. And that is that. Giants get a run on the RBI double. It's now a 2-0 ball game. You're dialed into the show. On to the third inning. And stepping in for New York, Marcus Simeon. That to right. Lee gets under it. And there's one away. Francisco Alvarez now at the plate. And that drops in for a strike.
Four-seam fastball. Low inside.
Foul ball there.
Knuckle curve. Low inside.
cut on and miss, struck him out, and now 2 gone.
Well, that's pretty much the dream 2-strike curveball. If you're the pitcher, hard downward break at the very end that just dips below the swing path. And they say pitchers want to try to bounce that pitch right on top of the plate. So that was exactly what he was looking for on the mound.
High inside. Circle change. Low outside.
2 down, nobody on. And a foul ball.
Knuckle curve. Low inside.
The 1-2. Fouled off the plate. They'll do it again.
4-seam fastball. High outside.
The 1-2. Swing and a ball lifted to center field. And that is that. 9 straight retired here to start the game. It's the Giants 2 and the Mets nothing. Back here at Oracle Park, and now it's the Giants DH, Rafael Devers. Foul ball. And it's fouled away. In the air to left center, and that'll fall for a base hit. And a good start to the inning.
Wasting no time. He's 2 for 2 now on the night, and just a triple and home run away from the cycle.
Seriously, we're starting with this already. Ramos in the box here, lets that one go for a ball. And it's into the gap. Throw back in quickly. First and second now with nobody out.
Pretty much a model swing on that one as he ripped it into the opposite field gap. And I'm sure he's going to be watching that one back on video, because that's the kind of swing you want to bottle. So many positives that led to that knock.
The rise. In the box now. Take strike 1. A base hit. Devers headed home. Fires it to the plate. It's offline. The run comes in, and they're up by 3.
Comes through with the RBI. I could watch base hits like that one all day long, and so could every hitting coach in the league. Just a nice line drive into center field.
First and second, no outs. And here is Matt Chapman.
All these Giants doing a good job of simply getting the bat on the ball in this game, and the numbers back that up.
Runners on the move. Pitch misses. Throw to third. Save. Double steal.
Wow, that's a pretty elite throwing arm right there from the catcher spot. Pretty daring for him to try to steal third right there, but he gets the bag. Maybe the element of surprise was what came in, because he's not used to guys running on him, and right there, stealing third base probably caught him off guard a little bit.
Puts a bunt down. Simeon in plenty of time to first. There for the out. Runner scores from third.
Well, the safety squeeze can be tough to defend, especially with a good runner at third. You can't risk trying to be overly aggressive and make a play at the plate and give up that easy out at first.
Bunts it, but he can't keep it fair. Looked like the safety squeeze there. On a bounce right side, Simeon. Throw to first in time. So here's Bader now. He's 0 for 1. Chopped out towards short. Lindor handles, throws to first, and Bader is set down. That's the inning. On to inning number 4. It's the Giants 5 and the Mets nothing. Start of the 4th. Here's the Mets leadoff man, Francisco Lindor. Right through there for a strike.
Oh, he's looking great so far. It helps when over 80% of your first pitches are strikes. He might be able to go the distance if he keeps this up.
Four-seam fastball. High outside.
Ball to strike. That one fouled off.
Sweeper. Middle inside.
The wind, the kick, and the 1-2. Keeps the at-bat going with a foul ball.
Sweeper. Low inside.
And a 1-2. Stays alive.
Slider. Low inside.
The 1-2. Swing and a ground ball. And that's just foul.
Four-seam fastball. Low middle.
The 1-2. Got him swinging for the K. Chased the fastball up the ladder for strike 3.
That was a pretty good pitch. Top of the strike zone. We're seeing more fastballs in that location. Hitters, especially with 2 strikes, have to be ready to pull the trigger.
Soto stands in now and watches strike 1. The Giants leading by 5. Top half of inning number 4. And that skips into dirt.
Four-seam fastball. High inside.
This one in the air. Arise. Drifts towards it. Reaching down, makes the catch. Here's the third baseman, Bichette.
Now, this guy is just filling up the strike zone right now. Don't want to get yourself in an 0-2 hole. You better be ready to pull the trigger on the first pitch.
Inside, ball 1.
That's inside. And 1-1.
Slider. Middle outside.
Gets him to chase after that one.
Four-seam fastball.
He has a tendency to chase out of the zone, and that slider that's down, that's one of his money pitches to get that swing and miss.
Swing and a miss, struck him out, and it's a 3-up, 3-down inning. So 12 up, 12 down to begin the ball game. You're watching Major League Baseball exclusively on the show. Back here in San Francisco, bottom 4. Well, he's been knocked around pretty good so far, but they've got him back out there at least to begin the inning.
Yeah, and you wonder just the strength and perhaps the health of that bullpen for him to go back out there. But he's taking this one for the team. Perhaps he can stabilize things and the offense can score some runs for him.
Hard hit left side. 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. See, as an opposing offense, how aware of pitch count are you when it's early in the game?
You're very aware because you're wanting to get a good look at that pitcher, and when he's spraying it all over the place, you're just going to take your time, be very patient, and see if you can get into sort of those gap inning pitchers down in the bullpen, because that's where you can really make your money.
2 down. Willie Adames, the next Giant to hit. 1 for 2. Lifted to left center, way back there, and that is gone. He'll circle the bases, and they add to their lead. That one just sounded different.
And it might have been the loudest moment yet. Man, my ears are ringing. I could feel that swing from the booth. That's as big as it gets right there. You take advantage of a mistake. That is an ultimate. Here it is. Watch it. I'm going to jog around the bases.
Manager out of the dugout, and he's going to make a change. David Peterson departs, and this is one he'd like to forget. Back with a new arm after this. The Mets with a new arm on the mound, Sean Manaea.
I think it's got to be a little tough coming in out of the pen when your guys are trailing so big on the scoreboard. Just doesn't have the same intensity to it, but he's got to find a way because these batters count the same for his stats, obviously, regardless of the score.
2 down, nobody on. And that one fouled off. Got him swinging. When the Giants go deep, it's bye-bye, baby. It's now a 6-0 ball game. New inning getting started, and stepping in for New York, Jorge Polanco.
Four-seam fastball. High inside.
Well, these Mets just aren't putting together very many good at-bats in this one. They're in the back half of the game, and they're still searching for a base runner. He's been great out there on the mound, no doubt, but it's also been a disappointing performance at the plate to this point.
Here's a 1-1. And that's in for a strike.
And as we get deeper, it's not going to get any easier. These at-bats are going to feel more and more desperate with every out the rest of the way.
Gets a piece there. We'll do it again.
Low inside.
Got him looking for the K. And that's 4 strikeouts. Here's Luis Robert. Slide to right his first time. And there's a foul ball. The Mets still looking for their first hit in this one. They've got a potent lineup. And when you think about teams capable of rallying from this kind of deficit, they're right at the top of the list. Swings through that one.
He's been very consistent with his command out there on the mound, consistently throwing at the knees. Pretty impressive when a guy can repeat his delivery like this.
Got him. That's out number 2.
I'm not sure that was the exact location the pitcher wanted, but it worked. He got the swing and miss, and I'm sure a bit of sigh of relief after seeing that one go through the zone.
Line drive, base hit. So he gets on base and keeps it going.
Up next for the Mets, second baseman.
Here's Marcus Semien. Flied to right his first time.
Four-seam fastball. Low inside. Four-seam fastball. Low inside.
And the 0-2. Fights it off. He'll see another. The Mets with a lot of ground to make up. And we're at the top of the 5th. Clip the bottom of the zone with a curve for strike 3. Another frame in the books as the perfect game falls by the wayside. Major League Baseball is on the show. We head to the bottom of the 5th. And digging in for San Francisco, Elliot Ramos. A bit behind with that swing. It's strike 1. Stirring in the bullpen for the Mets, Luis Garcia, the right-handed sinker baller. He looks to be readying himself. Here comes the 0-1. This one in the air, center field. 1 away.
Up next for the Giants.
Luis Arias, the next Giant to hit.
He was the big part of the field last time. Nice liner to center.
And that one is lifted in the air. Robert in position. Takes it in for the out. Matt Chapman up to the plate now.
Third baseman, Matt Chapman.
And that'll do it. So they go quietly there. We're through 5. It's the Giants 6 and the Mets nothing. Back at the ballpark, let's take a look at some of the moments that stand out to us.
My life is real. So I'm fronting on them every chance I get, to be honest. Wavy hair, mystique, up in this deep chain with some sick feet. Corner of 10th Street, scoop me in an MPV. I'm holding big. Soloist, vocalist, maestro. This fish grease, rest in peace, Polo. He see us, I was just with G, just like Ryan E.
So digging in, Francisco Alvarez.
Catcher, Francisco Alvarez.
Four-seam fastball. Low inside.
Swings through that one for strike 1.
I'm impressed by the number of first pitch strikes. He's not afraid of contact. Some guys, they'll nibble just because they don't want to get hit hard. That's not what we're seeing here.
And 1-2.
Good slider down and in can be so hard to get on plane with. You're better off taking that pitch.
Out towards right center field. He won't get there. That should be extra bases. And that's a leadoff double.
Well, that certainly feels good when you can win the at-bat after being down in the count, up against it with 2 strikes right there. Could be a chance here for them to start clawing back into this ballgame.
Taylor swings through it for strike 1.
4-seam fastball. High outside.
All 1.
4-seam fastball. Low middle.
The lefty ready, and a 1-1. Swings through that high fastball.
4-seam fastball. High middle.
Fouled off, and they'll do it again.
4-seam fastball. Low inside.
Man at second. Swing and a drive, deep right field. Way back there. And he can't quite get there. It's a foul ball. This one in the air. Schmidt under it. And there's one down.
Up next for the Mets.
Back to the top of the Mets order. Now up to hit Francisco Lindor. He swings and fouls one off.
4-seam fastball. High outside.
One out and a runner at second, and we're at the top half of the 6th. Keeps the at-bat going with a foul ball.
4-seam fastball. Low outside.
Struck him out looking. Picks up strikeout number 7.
Frustrating end to the at-bat for the hitter, and I'm sure that's going to sit on him for a little while. You want to be ready to hit the fastball. Sometimes you can overthink things, and I think that was the case right there.
That one pushed foul out of play off to the left.
4-seam fastball. Middle inside.
Man on second, 2 down.
Ball, that's off the plate.
4-seam fastball. High middle.
In the air to left center. And that is that. Make it 6 shutout innings for him out there now. Back after this on the show. Well, we go bottom 6, and digging in for San Francisco, Jung-Hoo Lee. Oh, look at the stop. And very nicely done for the out.
Up next for the Giants.
Harrison Bader digs in now. Sharp grounder. That's through for a base hit. So they get a man aboard with a 1-out single.
Up next for the Giants.
Patrick Bailey, the next Giant to hit. Here's the pitch. Runner on the go. There's a ball. Throw to second. Out of bounds. Safe.
When you're trying to swipe a bag against an elite level arm behind the plate like this guy, you better get a great jump and hope that your speed can finish this job. That was a great jump right there. Really nice steal of second base.
The 1-0. Liner snagged at first. Here comes the manager out of the dugout, and he'll make a move for the bullpen. That's it for Sean Manaea, and he's responsible for the runner on second, so the book isn't closed on him yet. We'll be right back. Here's a new pitcher from the pen, Luis Garcia. This is his 3rd time out this year. Casey Schmidt, the next to hit. Swing and a high fly ball, well struck. Carrying well. And it's gone. He muscles that one out the opposite way, and they add a pair. It's 8-0.
First pitch swinging, and he got the fastball. He knew exactly what to do with it, too. Welcome to the game. First pitch out of the bullpen, a tough one. And you know he's just trying to get one in there for a strike. And on the other side, as a hitter, it's a great time to be aggressive and let it fly. It's not what they were looking for when they turned to him, but now he's got to find a way to reset.
Back to the leadoff spot in the Giants lineup. Willie Adames getting ready to hit. Fastball for a strike. 2 down, nobody on. Can't glove it cleanly, but they get the out at first, and that'll do it for the inning. The Giants strike for a pair as you get another look at the 2-run dinger. It's now an 8-0 game. This game's a bit of a blowout, Singy. Let's talk about something random.
Let's do it.
All right, Singy, let's rewind for a second. When you heard that they were going to put a pitch clock into the game, what was your first thought?
Well, I thought that these guys were going to have a very difficult time to be able to regroup after each pitch and be ready to execute some type of plan at the plate, and even for pitchers on the mound.
A little out front there as he swings through it. One of the things, though, that we've seen that is kind of a thread really in every sport. These are the elite players, and so they adjust, and they've done a great job adjusting.
Absolutely, and just you tip your hat to these guys because not an easy adjustment, but they look like they've been doing it their entire lives.
Robert in the box again, takes the strike. Tap foul at the plate.
Circle change. Low outside.
Sets him down on strikes. Strikeout number 8.
Well executed pitch on the outside part of the plate.
And next for the Mets, Mark Vientos. Fought off foul.
Seems like the hitters are struggling with their timing today. Kind of caught in between that sharp fastball and the nasty slider. I'd like to see him settle on a consistent pitch.
High inside.
Got him looking for the strikeout. That's his 9th strikeout so far. Still in total command on the mound with 7 shutout innings. You're watching Major League Baseball on The Show. Back here at Oracle Park, this offense has lifted them to a lead with plenty of hits so far in this one as we look at the spray chart.
Yeah, it looks like they've been spreading it out pretty well in this one, Boog. Spraying the ball all over the yard. Good team effort at the dish.
Devers, the leadoff batter, as he swings through it for strike 1.
Just missed with that backdoor breaking ball. If he gets a swing and miss or called strike, 0-2 count. Instead, it's 1-1. Look for him to go back to that pitch later in this at bat.
The 1-1 is fouled off. The 1-2. And Raffy falls victim to the K. Elliot Ramos, the next Giant to hit. 1 for 3. Swing and a miss as he chases that one darting out of the zone. Pop foul out of play off to the right. Oh, 0-2 now. Hit on the ground to short. Lindor slinging it to first in time.
Up next for the Giants.
2 down, base is empty. Luis Arias will hit next. Lined, and that's a base hit. So a 2-out knock keeps the inning alive.
You know, I was watching his rounds during batting practice today. So impressed with his ability to let the ball travel, go back up the middle and the other way. Sometimes when you step in the box during the game, you get a little anxious and you get away from that. But so far, I've seen him stay consistent with his pregame preparation.
Now it's Matt Chapman. I thought that was a strike, and here's a challenge. It just shaved the zone. So they've still got both their challenges. Yo, 1. Ouch, that one drilled him. Still able to get it there in time. And they do get the out. 1 left for San Francisco as the lead holds at 8-0. Back here in San Francisco. We're at the top of the 8th. Marcus Semien up.
Now pitching for the
Landon
Giants,
Root gets the call from the pen.
And he's got a nice lead to work with, so he should come in throwing strikes, attacking these hitters.
Slurve. Low outside.
Root measures 6 feet 2 inches. He features a sinker, a slurve, a changeup, a cutter, and he works in a 4-seamer. This one in the air center field. Bader has a beat on it. And there's one down. Here's the catcher, Francisco Alvarez. Swing and a ball lifted in the air. Bader under it. Then there's 2 away. Tyrone Taylor digs in now.
Low middle.
Oh, he doesn't get the call. Ball 1. Challenge from behind the dish here. And on further review, it was a strike. Still 2 challenges left for them.
Low middle.
2 down, nobody on.
Nope, that's a ball.
Circle change. Low outside.
So now 1 and 2.
Slurve. Low outside.
Now
Ball
one
2.
missed.
Circle change. Low middle.
And that's too high. Francisco Lindor
High
up next
inside.
for the Mets. In the air to left center. And it drops in. And that extends the inning.
When you go 0 for 5, 0 for 7, 0 for 8, it seems like an eternity, especially to start the season, because that's the one thing. Players want to get that first one out of the way so that they feel like, all right, I'm going to avoid this prolonged 0 for to start the season and get into a slump.
Comes up empty. That's strike 2.
This guy's sink has so much drop in it. It's almost like a split finger.
No, that's a strikeout. And that'll do it for the inning. Mets lead 1. Still 8-0. Back now, new pitcher on the mound as we roll into the bottom of the 8th. Brooks Raley.
And with the big deficit on the scoreboard, he almost has to just put that out of his mind. Every outing matters for relievers and their numbers, but I think it's tough to get up for this type of appearance the same way you would for one in a close game.
Here's your 1. Swing and a miss. That's the sweeper.
Well, he's been aggressive right out of the box, and a smart pitcher is going to play off of that, especially when you get to 2 strikes.
Battling here as he fouls it away. Foul ball left side. He'll see another. The 0-2. On the ground to third. Bichette fires across
He's
the
out.
diamond. Leadoff man is out here in the 8th. At the plate, Harrison Bader. The Giants up big in this one. Here, the bottom half of the 8th inning. Hard liner. Takes it in for the out.
Not fooled at all right there. He was clearly all over it, but sometimes you hit it too hard and right at someone. You're looking for one of those bloop hits to get a knock sometimes.
Bailey stands
that's
in
out.
with 2 away as he takes a ball. Action in the Mets bullpen. Huascar Brazoban, the hard-throwing righty, is up and loosening. The lefty, the 1-0. Lifted in the air, right center field. Taylor coming on. And that is that. Nothing doing there for San Francisco as it remains an 8-0 game. Back here at Oracle Park, we go to the ninth. Juan Soto.
Now
Pitching change here, Ryan Barucki.
And you know, bullpen guys can struggle sometimes when they're called upon with big leads because it just doesn't have the same intensity as a tight game. So we'll see how sharp he is. Your mental toughness matters in situations like this as well.
Sinker. Middle inside.
The 0-2. And that's a little bit high.
Really good take, especially with 2 strikes.
Sweeper. Low outside.
Swings and misses. And a strikeout for the first out here in the ninth.
Well, that's always the key to effective pitching is getting ahead in the count. And as a pitcher, it really allows you to start expanding the zone. Hitters become defensive, and all of a sudden that plate starts to get really wide. And what happens is, because of the pressure, you end up committing to a pitch as a batter before you recognize what it is, and that's what leads to the strikeout.
Middle inside.
Got him looking. Only 1 out remaining for the Mets.
Well, we saw a solid effort out of their starter, and the bullpen is following suit. It's just a good day as a manager or as a pitching coach when you can hand the ball off to multiple arms and get stability from all of their performances.
Flyer. Low middle.
The batter now, Jorge Polanco. Almost got him.
Sinker.
2 down, nobody on. Here at the top of the ninth.
Sinker. Low middle.
No, that's low.
Sinker. Low outside. Sinker. Low outside.
This could end it. Got him, and that's the ball game.
Well, a big win by 8 runs, and when you have that kind of lead, you make it easier for the pitching staff to come out, make their pitches, pitch to contact, and not worry about giving up the lead. So nice job today all the way around to get the W.
8-0 is how this one ends. For Chris Singleton and our entire outstanding crew here at MLB The Show, I'm John Sciambi. Thanks for joining us.
Con mi pie plantado, yo nunca me voy a arrodillar. No te escucho, dilo con el pecho si me vas a hablar. No te escucho, dilo con el pecho, estás hablando con el voz. Estamos saltándonos aquí, los platos dan pa' 2. Si la prendo molotov, man, estamos aquí, todos los míos están on go. Todos los míos on go. Ellos me ven de frente sonriendo, pero sé que